This is probably my favorite new accessory for the TV. Hey guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona. And in this video, I'm doing a detailed review of the Starkey StarLink Edge TV streamer. Now, real quick before we get started, if you already have one of these and you just want to know how to hook it up to your TV so you can start using it, go ahead and skip forward in this video. I will have the tutorial of how to set this up a little bit later, and it is timestamped in the description. Okay, so at this moment right now, we are still probably a few years away from you being able to tap directly into your TV with your hearing aids to do Bluetooth audio streaming. This means that until that time, you're gonna need to have an accessory called a TV streamer to tap into the audio of your TV. And yes, properly programmed hearing aids can help you hear the TV better even if you're not streaming it, but it can definitely help when it comes to understanding dialogue better. After all, TV speaker quality can be variable from TV to TV. The acoustics of the room that you watch TV in can completely destroy the sound quality through reverberation and echo. Many other accessories like TV headsets can cut off the audio for other people watching TV with you in the same room. And if you do have hearing loss, the audio of the headsets hasn't been customized to match your hearing loss prescription. If you do happen to have hearing aids that can directly tap into the audio of your TV, oftentimes it incorporates a delay or the mouth of the person moving does not match the audio. So as of right now, the absolute best way to listen to TV is using a TV streamer. Just so you understand how a TV streamer works, you basically hook it up to the TV, it takes the audio from whatever TV show you're watching, and it turns it into a wireless signal that it pushes out into the room, and then your hearing aids pick up that wireless audio signal and plays it for you inside of your ears. When you do this, it does not negatively affect the audio for anyone else watching the TV with you. There's no delay, and the audio can be fully customized by your hearing care professional so it sounds exactly the way that you want it to. I want you to think about the sound quality that you get when you stream audio directly from a smart device into your hearing aids. You can get that same type of audio quality using one of these guys. In my clinic, TV streamers are by far the most popular accessories that we dispense. Because when it comes to understanding dialogue on the TV, it doesn't even matter if there's background noise or music mixed into the dialogue, you can pull out the dialogue when you use a streamer. But there's a reason why the Starkey StarLink Edge TV streamer is one of my favorite streamers available on the market right now. But before I explain why, do me a huge favor and click the like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well. It's greatly appreciated. And while you're at it, let me know down in the comment section if you tend to struggle understanding dialogue on your favorite TV shows. Okay, so Starkey released the StarLink Edge TV streamer back in 2024 when they released their Starkey Edge AI hearing aids. However, this TV streamer is forward compatible with newer generations of Starkey technology, including the Starkey Omega AI that we have right now. And the reason I love this streamer so much is primarily because it uses Auracast. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with what Auracast is, it's essentially a form of broadcast audio that's been made possible by the new LE Audio Bluetooth. This brand new form of Bluetooth gives you better streaming sound quality as well as lower battery drain. And because this device uses Auracast, not only can you stream the audio from this into your Starkey hearing aids, but you can stream audio from this into virtually any wireless device that has LE Audio Bluetooth and Auracast compatibility. You'll hear me talking about this more in a little bit. Now, when you look at the size of this device, this has got to be the smallest TV streamer that you have for a hearing aid manufacturer out of all of the ones available on the market. This guy is really, really small. You can see there in the palm of my hand. A lot of the other TV streamers are much larger than this, and the ones that are around this size do not have the Auracast capability. This means that you can easily hide this behind your TV, even if you have a flat screen TV that's mounted very close to your wall. Now, I actually recorded myself setting this up on my TV downstairs a little bit earlier today, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you that here in a minute. But before I do that, I wanna point out a couple of things that you should really know before you watch that part of this video. On the back of this device, there are 3 different ports. There's a USB-C power port right here. Right next to that, we have the optical audio port for a Toslink cable to use digital audio. And next to that, you have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack if you want to use analog audio. On the top of the device here, you have a power button right here and a Bluetooth pairing button right here. On the back of the device, make note of this, you actually have an Auracast broadcast name and an Auracast broadcast code. Those numbers are very important. You should write them down so you have access to them later on, and you'll see why. All right, let me show you the power cable here. So, like I mentioned just a second ago, you have a USB-C cable that actually comes with it, and the other end of that USB-C is USB-A. Now, if I plug in the USB-C, this right here needs to get plugged into either the back of the TV. A lot of newer modern TV sets have extra USB ports that you can plug this into for power, or you can plug this into the wall using the included wall plug adapter. Now, if you have an older TV set, and I'm talking like really old, or you're using the optical port for something else, I'll get to that here in a second, you could use the analog cables here. You can see here that we have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and we have the white and red RCA audio cables for analog TVs. I bet you it's been a while since you've seen RCA cables. Now, if you're gonna use these cables to stream audio, you can do that. What you would do is you plug in the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack right there, and then you plug these into the appropriately colored RCA audio jacks on the back of your TV. Of course, you want to try and avoid using these, because if you use these, it cuts off the audio for the other people watching your TV, and in that case, you want to try and use the Toslink cable through the optical audio port. Now, you may or may not have seen a Toslink cable before, but this is what it looks like. It was actually invented by Toshiba back in 1983, which is why they call it the Toslink cable. I bet you didn't know that fun fact. And if you did, you're smarter than me, because I actually looked it up today. Now, if you're thinking, I don't know if I have an optical audio port on the back of my TV, let me tell you, almost every single TV nowadays has them. Every TV that I've personally seen and worked with patients over the past 5, maybe even 10 years at this point, has all had an optical audio port. This is what an optical audio port looks like. It has that little trap door, and you can see kind of like a little red light behind it. Using this port on the back of your TV streamer, like so, right there, and on the back of your TV is ideal, because that allows you to essentially stream audio directly from the TV into your hearing aids without disrupting the audio for everybody else in the room. On top of that, if you run a sound bar on your TV, you can use the optical audio port for the TV streamer, and you can use the ARC port, which uses an HDMI cable, for the soundbar. I'll show you that here in a second too. Now, if you have Starkey hearing aids, your hearing care professional who's selling you this should be pairing up your hearing aids with the TV streamer and customizing the audio for you. That's actually a pretty big reason why you should not be purchasing these online and trying to pair them yourself, because the audio will not be set up ideally. Now, just in case your hearing care professional's being a little bit lazy and they do not set this up for you, here's how you do it. You need to plug in the TV streamer and make sure that you see the white light. If you have rechargeable hearing aids, you need to reboot them by removing them from the charger. Once they've booted up, you can click on the Bluetooth pairing button, which will start flashing blue. Once this blue light turns solid, you're paired. If you have disposable battery hearing aids, you need to complete the exact same steps. The only difference is you need to open and close the battery doors to reboot the devices. Okay, so once you have your Starkey hearing aids paired up with your Starkey Edge TV streamer, you do not have to enter any passwords for Auracast or anything like that. You have a direct connection into this little Auracast transmitter. The only reason why you should have to use a password to access a Starkey Edge TV streamer is if it's not your Edge TV streamer that you've already paired up with. And you can still access it, you just have to have their password to access their Auracast. Okay, so now that you understand how to pair everything up and you have a general understanding of how this all works, let me show you me setting this up in my own living room. Hey guys, so I have my Starkey streamer here, and I already have it kind of pre-set up with the power cord. So that's our USB-C that goes into our USB-A that I'm actually going to plug into the back of the TV. And like I said, you do have an adapter for the back of this, so if you needed to plug it into the outlet, you could do that as well, but I'm going to show you how to do it inside of your actual TV. And then on this other one, I have my Toslink cable plugged into the back of the optical port here. Like I mentioned earlier, I do not want to use these RCA cables here because the RCA cables are for analog audio and it will cut off the audio to the rest of the people who are viewing the TV in their room. So I'm just going to toss those back over there. You'll see that on my TV, it's a couple years old. It doesn't even have RCA plugins anymore. But let me just go ahead and show you how to actually plug this into the back of the TV here real quick. All right, so I went ahead and pulled out the TV a little bit. It does help if you have it on a little bit of an articulating arm like this. But what we're looking at here, this is actually my plug-in for my Fire TV. That's HDMI. There's another HDMI right here. That's for ARC. So that allows me to use my soundbar at the same time. But you can see that I have a couple of extra USB ports up here above those HDMIs. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the power cable here, and that's my USB-A, and I'm gonna slide that into the USB port here. There we go, so we are all plugged in there. So now my unit actually has power. You might be able to see that the light is on there showing that we have power now. The next thing that we wanna do is get my TOS-Link cable plugged into the back of the TV. Now, it might take a little looking around to find this port. On my TV, it's right down here. That might be a little hard to see, but it's a little black door, and if you look carefully enough, you might be able to see a little red light shining through that door. We have to make sure that we align this cable properly because it only goes in one way. So the flat part for me is actually along the top, and I'll just push in on that door. It snaps right into place, and now that's feeding audio into my device here. All right, so let me spin you back around to the front of the TV so I can show you the rest of the setup here. All right, so you may notice now that we have this all plugged in, and the unit's pretty small. I'm just gonna kind of tuck it up here with all the other cables. And the sound bar is still completely functional because we're using the ARC HDMI cable for that, and we're using the TOS-Link cable with the optical audio port for the Edge streamer. Now there is an extra optical audio port on the back of the sound bar, but it does not work for me to hook up my Starkey streamer into the back of my sound bar, so that's why I'm choosing to go into the TV. This is actually the same exact setup that my parents have at home as well, and it works really, really nicely, so everyone else in the room gets good quality audio at the same time. Now, because my hearing aids have already been paired to my Edge TV streamer, I'm actually getting the audio from the TV right now. I have it set to auto stream, so anytime the TV turns on and there's an audio signal, it's going to tell my hearing aids, hey, we're connected up with the TV, I'm gonna start streaming that audio, and so I get the audio automatically. You can also have it set to where you do not get the audio automatically, and you have to go into your smart device to do that. Now, I have these hearing aids connected up here with my Apple phone, and you can probably tell here, I'm gonna come in a little bit closer, that we are now set to streaming audio. There's this little icon that's down here that when we click that, we can go and see that we've got that TV streamer. If I wanted to stop that audio, I hit that stop button right there. Now all of my audio just went completely away. If I wanted to start it again, I hit the play button. There we go. I'm starting to get the audio first in the left ear, then the right ear. You can see here that I can adjust the streaming volume to make it really, really loud, or to make it really, really soft. I'm gonna put it roughly around the middle. And I can also separately control my hearing aid volume. So if I actually wanna be pulling in audio from around me, like if someone wants to talk to me while I'm watching the TV, I can increase those microphones and I can hear my own voice a lot louder when I take it to louder here, or I can take it off completely if I don't want any external sound interfering with my stream. Now, I can also go back here. When I'm in the streaming audio page on the home screen here, you can see that I can also adjust my hearing aid mics. I can also adjust the streaming volume, but I can also do an adjust sound equalizer. So if I tap on that, now I can actually adjust the bass to make things sound a little bit more rich and full. I can increase or decrease the mids. I can increase or decrease the treble to make things sharper or to get better speech dialogue. But I can customize that however I want to, and you can see that I'm actually streaming audio here with this. And I can even save those so it comes right back up to that the next time that I want to use it. But for now, I'm going to hit cancel. Now there's one thing that you can do with your Apple Watch when you're streaming audio, and I'm going to show you that right now. So let me put the phone away here, and I'm going to break out my Apple Watch here, bring up the apps, go down to the My Starkey app, and you'll see here that it says that I'm streaming. Now, I can increase or decrease the volume of the hearing aids, not the streaming volume from the watch. So if someone starts talking to me, say my wife Ashley, who's holding the camera right now, starts having a conversation with me during a commercial like this, and I can't hear her because I'm actively streaming, I could quickly just go to my watch, increase the volume. Now it brings in more of her voice because she's talking to me and it's getting picked up by the microphones here. Now, something else that's pretty cool is that if she starts talking to me and I don't want to have this commercial, this Domino's commercial that's playing right now, I can double tap my ear, and I have that set up to pause the audio coming from the TV streamer, and then if I double tap my ear again, it resumes that audio stream. That is a feature that needs to be set up by your hearing care professional in their office in the programming software so it functions that way if you want it to function that way. Otherwise, you're going to have to go into the app and hit stop on that transmission. All right, so there's one other thing that I want to show you here with this Starkey Edge TV streamer that's really, really cool, and that is the Auracast capabilities with other devices other than Starkey hearing aids. So for this, I'm actually going to take out the Starkey hearing aids, and we're going to be able to stream audio directly into a pair of wireless earbuds or another brand of hearing aids that uses LE Audio, Bluetooth, and Auracast. Now, quick public service announcement here. If you have Apple devices, these do not do that yet. So you have to ditch the Apple devices. I do love my Apple AirPods Pro 3, but for this purpose, they're basically useless. So fortunately, I'm a Samsung guy, and I have Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro 3 that have Auracast capabilities, and a Samsung Galaxy S25 that has Auracast capabilities. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these earbuds and put it into my ear, and I'm gonna go ahead and get connected. All right, so I've got my phone unlocked here, and I'm gonna show you how you can activate this. So if I just go to the settings and I see my Clifford's Buds Pro 3s right here, I tap on that, and this brings up all the settings for it. If I scroll down, I get to listen to Auracast broadcast, and like I said, we're using Auracast out of that Edge TV streamer to broadcast audio to anyone who has compatible devices, and these are compatible. So you can see here we have this number that corresponds with the number on the bottom of my Edge TV streamer. Now there is a lock sign here, so in order to get into that stream, I have to enter in the code. Now this is the only thing that I do not like about the Starkey Edge TV streamer is that that code is here on the bottom of the unit, and it's really, really small and hard to see. So it says EDA 77705, and this is case sensitive. All right, so I've got that. I can go ahead and hit connect, and instantaneously, I have the audio coming from the TV into my Samsung Galaxy Bud Pro 3. Now, if I want to leave this stream, I just click on leave here, or I can take the earbud out of my ear and put it back into the case, and that will terminate the stream. Now, I guess there's one other thing that I'm not super happy about, which is if I leave that Auracast stream, so I just hit leave and I'm not hearing it anymore, if I want to tap back into that, I can't just go and be like, oh, tap into that device that you previously tapped into. You have to go back and re-enter that password. So if you don't remember the password, every single time you have to go in and manually enter it in. There's no way to allow you to save that in your device to start that stream automatically again. Now, really cool because whether it's a pair of wireless earbuds that has Auracast capabilities or whether it's another brand of hearing aids that has Auracast capabilities, you can use the same streamer to tap into all of those different devices. Now, the last thing that I'm going to show you before we head back up into the studio here is how far away we can get from this Edge TV streamer and still maintain a connection. Because it's one thing to stay connected when you're 2 feet away from the streamer, but it's another thing if you're trying to get a long distance away from it and still be able to hear the audio. So I'm gonna switch out of my Galaxy Buds here. I'm gonna put my Omega AI hearing aids back into my ears, and we're gonna head outside and see how far away we can get. And I can hear the audio stream just kicked back in because I do have it set to auto stream. All right, there we go. Let's grab the phone and see how long we can keep this connection. Let's go. All right, we're still maintaining a really good connection here. We're out in our driveway. We'll just go ahead and head down the street here. Still have a good connection. Still showing that I'm streaming audio. I'm gonna go and see when it actually cuts out. The TV streamer will disconnect here. We're over in the neighbor's yard now. Still streaming, still a good connection between both hearing aids here. Starting to hear my right hearing aid cut out just a little bit. Starting to get a little robotic sounding, and there we go. You can see that it just turned off. I don't know if you can see that here, but the play button is showing, meaning that we lost connection, and it kicked automatically just to hearing aid mode here. So let's go ahead and turn around. I don't know how far away we are. We're about 2 houses away from us. So let's go ahead and spin back around, and I'm gonna see when it automatically connects. Oh, there we go. I just got it in my right ear. Our house is right there. I now have both again. I don't know, we're in the neighbor's yard there is when it kicked back in, but pretty strong signal, which is kind of nice. All right, so we're done testing this in my actual living room. Let's head back up to the studio. Like I said earlier in this video, this is easily one of my favorite accessories that is currently available on the market. Not just because it streams really high quality audio into your Starkey hearing aids, but because pretty much anybody can use it. I don't care if you have hearing aids that are a different brand or if you have earbuds or headphones, as long as those devices have LE Audio Bluetooth with Auracast capabilities, you can stream audio from this directly into your ears. Now, as far as price goes, you may be paying close to double for this TV streamer compared to other TV streamers available on the market. Of course, those other TV streamers are a one-to-one connection, so they're all proprietary. If you have other brands of hearing aids, you cannot tap into those, and you cannot tap into those other devices with wireless earbuds or headphones. However, even though you'll spend more on this streamer compared to other streamers from other manufacturers, you pay considerably less money for one of these to have Auracast transmission compared to a commercially available Auracast transmitter that will cost you several thousands of dollars. So if you want one of the absolute best TV streamers currently available on the market, not just for Starkey hearing aids, but for any wireless device that has Auracast capabilities, you really can't go wrong with the Starkey StarLink Edge TV streamer.